Paranormal Dimensions is a regular feature on Mondays on the Paranormal UK radio network.
This is Sasha Christie, and you're listening to the Paranormal UK Radio Network, the UK's biggest paranormal network. And this is Paranormal Dimensions with David Young.
Hello, welcome to another show. Thank you for that intro, Sasha. Right, before we kick off, I've got a few call-outs for people. I've got Sarah Coulthard Kane in Martham, I think that is, in Norfolk. Ashley Waterhouse, Derby, Derbyshire, and Sam Lawrence Gray, Stowmarket, Suffolk, UK. Now, today's guest is the boss of the paranormal, the East Anglia Paranormal Investigations Group. He started it all off, and I believe it's in its 10th anniversary now. He'll correct me in a minute, but his name's Gary Bradfield. So, welcome to the show, Gary.
Thank you very much, David. Yeah, it's 10 years next year.
10 years next year. Oh, okay. Well, I'm near then anyway.
Yeah. This year's nearly over, so yeah, it's our 10-year anniversary next year, so. Yeah.
I mean, people forgive me out there. I mean, Gary is a friend of mine, but I had to have him on the show at some point, because I've been trying to get him on for a little while now, but I've had such a queue of people. It's been difficult trying to juggle people around, believe it or not. But anyway, welcome to the show, Gary, at last. So tell us a little bit about how you got into the paranormal field, because I know you're psychic. Perhaps you'd like to tell us how you discovered you were psychic and everything like that.
Blimey. Now you're gonna get, I could bore your listeners to tears with this, David, I tell you.
No, I'm sure you won't. But I think we need to know a bit about you to,
well, okay, let me take everybody back to 1961. Those of you that are younger, you wouldn't remember 1961.
Oh, I can, so you're all right.
Yeah. Now, people say to me, when did you learn that you were psychic? My answer to them is I was psychic, or I was into the paranormal before I was even born. Now, you will obviously bear with me and bear me up on this. In 1961, women went into labour and they had to suffer, basically. And I was supposed to have been born on the 1st of October 1961. So along come the 1st of October. I didn't show my head. I didn't want to come out, as my mum said. But my nan actually turned round to my mum and said, he's not coming out, he'll be coming out on the 29th of October. Now, my mum said to my nan, taking into consideration she's 9 months pregnant, all her waters have gone, she's completely dry. She's gone to my nan, don't be blah, 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 right, mother.
Yeah, I think we get a picture, yeah.
Yeah, you can imagine it, can't you? A woman in labour. He's coming out now. And she went, no, he's coming out on the 29th. Well, I came out on the 29th of October at around about 11:58 p.m. So that's where I would say my actual paranormal started.
Right. It's unusual for people to know what actual time they were born. I mean, I don't know what time I was born, or not even what day or anything. I mean, I know the date, obviously, but,
Yeah.
you know.
I had that drummed into my head so many years, David, I tell you.
I suppose because it was so traumatic, yeah, I suppose it's, yeah. So, like you say, you didn't, obviously, you didn't know you were psychic then, but you must have discovered it later on, that it started then.
Yeah, I mean, I like to put that bit in because obviously my nan was that way. So I've literally grown up, with paranormal.
Right, I see what you mean, yeah, because she knew what, yeah, I get you, yeah.
I've grown up with the paranormal, it doesn't faze me, and if you went on, it wouldn't have been, what, a couple of years, I suppose, from then, is when I actually see my first ghost. And that was a little boy, his name was Peter. My mum and dad were living in a Victorian house, workman's cottage at the time, on the main drag from Waltham Cross to Waltham Abbey. Well, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
I am, but our people around, our friends around the world might not, because obviously she's going across the United States. Waltham is just outside of London, isn't it? So it's just can't give a rough picture.
Yeah. It's actually Eleanor Cross Road, so which is another story completely, and I'm not going down that road. And that is where my mum and dad had their first house. In them days, money was very tight. Obviously, it was only, it still is, but it was even tighter then, you know. It was a little one up, one down, Victorian cottage, lovely little cottage, but, the toilet was outside. And as I say, this is when I very first see my first ghost. I used to play with him.
Wow.
And, I drove my mum crazy because I would literally make sure the toilet was down out in the garden. That's how, the toilet was down the bottom of the garden. So to give your listeners an idea of something, I would go down there with my mum, obviously, because I was little, and I would tell her that no matter what time of year it was, it could be 2 inches of snow. I would make sure she would wait for Peter so he could go to the toilet.
Right.
And, as I say, then it's sort of like we left there, and he had his own boundary. He couldn't cross his boundaries. Not that I knew what they were in them days, obviously. But when they moved, I never see him again. But if you went on, when I got married, and I'd actually forgotten about him, or his name, I actually named my first son Peter.
Oh, what? Yeah.
So,
subconsciously sort of thing.
Yeah, subconsciously, his name was still in my head, and I literally named him Peter. And my mum turned around at me at the time and she went, I don't believe you. And I said, why? She said, you just named him after your ghost friend. Because my mum called him a ghost friend then, because my mum knew anyway, so.
Yeah. So she couldn't see him, but you could.
Yeah. I've got to say, all the way through, growing up, right the way through, and even today, my mum and my dad support me 150%. You know, if I say something's happening, they'll say, okay, well, when, or it's really weird. So
how did he actually appear to you? Did he just appear, obviously, did he aim him? Did it seem like he had aimed himself to you, to befriend you, maybe because you were a little boy as well?
Yeah, he was a little boy.
So where, did you get any idea about why he was, stuck on this world? Was it from the war or something like that?
Well, at that time, David, I was like 3, 4. I was an only child. And when it first started, my mum thought it was just an imaginary friend. But as the years progressed, and with what things was coming through to me, and I was telling my mum. My mum then realised that, no, hang on, it wasn't an imaginary friend, it was a ghost.
Yeah. Well, an earthbound spirit, as no doubt.
Yeah.
Is that,
Or as people would like, other people would say, an earthbound spirit.
Yeah. Do you think I wonder if he's been helped since then to sort of pass over?
I wouldn't know, because, I mean, my mum and dad moved out of them cottages because they were demolished. Progress, as they like to say, and the blocks of flats were put in. So hopefully there was a team out there that had moved him on, because he's most probably been very confused with all these new age buildings being put in.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was quite a few years ago, so maybe somebody has discovered him at some sort. I mean, did they get help from the other side as well?
Do they?
Yeah. Because obviously, if they're caught within sort of like a barrier type of thing, then I mean, obviously the other, when you go fully over to the other side, do they get assistance from there as well?
The only way I could say, if I'm passing somebody across or passing somebody over, which obviously EAPI do, we do private work, and if we feel as if the spirit needs to be passed over, blah blah blah, we will do that. Now, we will then open up, obviously with a white light and all this, you open up the two realms and you ask for loved ones on the past life, you with me, on the other side, to help the people that are stuck on this side to come across. If that makes sense, you do.
No, it's something I've always wondered about, if they do actually get help from the other side, because obviously they've probably got more power than what we have on this side.
Sometimes, see, they can be scared. They're scared of going across for some unknown reason, but we say, and I'm not passed over, so I wouldn't like to say whether or not they are, but if your crimes and whatever are committed, once you go across to the other side, it's all forgiven and it's a new slate. So you sort of try and get the loved ones on the other side to coax them across. Well,
yeah, I get what you mean. So that was kind of your first experience, but I know you've had a hell of a lot. Excuse the word hell. I know you've had a lot of experiences ever since. And what made you form the East Anglia Paranormal Investigations group?
Well, it's weird because sort of like as I progressed, I was having psychic dreams, and I mean, one instance was the space shuttle. I dreamt that, and I knew that was going to happen. I think it was about 2 weeks before it did happen.
Oh, the one that blew up, you mean?
Yeah. And with me, it's sort of like jigsaw puzzles, and it's not until the final piece goes in that I can. I had that over a course of 2 or 3 months, and when I eventually realised what it was. I think it was about 2 weeks to a week before I said to Mum, something's going to happen. And I said it's going to involve 7 people and they're all going to die. And lo and behold, the space shuttle went up and exploded. Space shuttle Challenger. That was back in 1986.
Right. So were you actually watching it on the TV at the time when it went?
Yeah. Because I went cold when it happened, and my mum just looked at me and went, there you go. And
because I remember watching that live as well. I think I was having breakfast. I think it was early morning here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
From what I remember.
Yeah. I mean, people say that psychic mediumship, all this is a gift. Yes, I agree it's a gift, but it can also be a curse. To see something like that before it's even happened, who do you call?
Well, yeah, I know what you mean. But
Yeah.
did you actually log it? Did you write it down or anything?
No, because I mean, my logging in is for logging purposes was my mum.
Right.
I mean, everything, you know, no matter what, I've seen the River Lee overflow. I see the Boeing 747, I think, that crashed in the frozen river in America.
In New York, yeah.
In New York, I've seen that. I've seen John Wayne's death. I've seen umpteen things, but I've always told my mum. And I think the actual last straw, I think, just after John Wayne, I had one, and I was working in a wood factory, and I caught my arm.
Right.
And basically I was working on a very, very big, hefty piece of machinery, and the cutters overhung, and they used to shape the timber into furniture. Well, I nearly lost my lost my left arm.
Wow.
Because that was because I went into a daydream trance.
Yeah.
And I was getting these premonitions. Well, when I went home, I said to my mum, I'm shutting myself down. Well, in them days, it wasn't like it is today, where you can go to Spirit Circle, you can go to spiritual church to get help. It was still sort of in-house, you know, it wasn't spoken of that much. So I basically had to try and shut myself down myself, which I did do, and I never had anything really. I see the odd things after that. Here goes my telephone. Sorry. Yeah, so as I was saying, I actually shut myself down, not completely because I didn't really know how to. So little bits and pieces were coming through. I was still getting the feelings, you know, of spiritual feelings and that, but I wasn't getting my psychic dreams. And now I'm going to quickly fast forward it, because you want to know why East Anglia Paranormal was...
Yeah, before you do, when John Wayne died, it was about, was it 78 or 17? I know he died about a year after Elvis did, didn't he?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you, David. Without going
something like that, but
without going onto the internet, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah, because I know a few big names went around about the same. You know, the sort of Elvis went in 77. I think John Wayne in 78. Then you had Steve McQueen went in 1980. You know, things like that. I know there's quite a few big names in a short space of time.
With that story, it was quite weird because I actually had this psychic dream that a famous person was going to die, but it was a family member. Well, we haven't got a family member that is an actor, footballer or whatever, but my Uncle George died on the same day as John Wayne, at exactly, this week where it gets even weirder, at exactly the same time.
Yeah, that's weird, yeah.
So this is what I was saying with psychic dreams and things. It's you know, it all comes in. It does come into play eventually.
Yeah, I suppose it's some kind of a psychic link somewhere.
Yeah.
I can't explain it, but yeah, I don't know, weird. Anyway, sorry, go on. I did interrupt you, and I'll let you carry into where you were going.
So I'm going to fast forward it right now, right the way up to 2009. Now, taking into consideration I'd shut myself off. I didn't want nothing to do with the paranormal. I mean, luckily enough in them days you couldn't even watch paranormal TV because there was nothing like that on TV.
No, that's right.
You know, I didn't go to the library, I didn't even read books on it. You know, you could go to the library and read books, but I didn't even do that.
There's so much of it now, isn't there?
Yeah. But I didn't even go to the library and nothing. Well, 2009 I contracted double pneumonia. I ended up in a coma for over a month, a hospital-induced coma.
Oh, I didn't know that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the only way they could save my life because, as I say, I had double pneumonia. Now, my body was controlling everything. controlling that I'm not going to let anything come through. But once I went into that coma, my guard was let down. If you see what I mean, my shield, my personal shield was let down.
Yeah.
So it then reopened, it reignited. So when I came out, it reignited with a bang, and I said to Sharon, once I come out, well, this has all happened for a reason. And that reason being EAPI. It wasn't actually EAPI back then, but that is when the concept of EAPI started. And it was basically, we would go out to help families, i.e. private residents, places in distress.
Before you go, I think we ought to explain to our American listeners or people around the world, it's the East Anglia Paranormal Investigations Group you're talking about there, the EAPI. Now that's based in Lowestoft. Now tell me, Gary, is Lowestoft in Norwich, in Norfolk or Suffolk?
Suffolk, David.
Yeah, but it confuses me because you've got a Norfolk postcode.
Yeah, we've got a Norwich postcode, yeah, but we are Suffolk.
Yeah, that's what I think of it as Suffolk. But yeah, I just wanted to clear that up with you because it confuses me. Right, I'll let you carry on.
Don't never, word of warning to you, David. Don't come to Lowestoft and speak to true Lowestoft people and say, do you come from Norfolk? Yeah. Because they'll hang you.
No, I know a little bit down the coast. You've got Great Yarmouth, which is in Norfolk, isn't it? So it's just a little bit on this side of that border, I suppose. That's what. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I digressed, but carry on. Yeah, you know me, don't you?
Yeah, we like to digress. You know what digressing is, don't you? It's content.
Yeah.
So that is where EAPI was formed, basically, even though it wasn't EAPI back then. But that's how it was, that's where it originated from. And then 5 years on, I think from there, we went into public events.
Right. So as you started up your EAPI, obviously it was only you and Sharon, was it?
Yeah.
Did you start inviting people to join your group and?
Yeah, there was.
Because it was probably not Facebook at that point, was it?
Yes, when we first started, yeah, Facebook was about when we first started out, which was lucky enough. As I say, we wasn't, EAPI was sort of in the back of my mind all this time, but it was not, we wasn't EAPI then, we was under a different name. But I hasten to add why I keep saying that EAPI is our 10-year anniversary next year. Because it really is our 10-year anniversary next year. You know, so. Yeah,
I mean, it's as near as damn it, and next year. Strangely, it's the 40th anniversary of the Rendlesham Forest incident as well, then, which I know it's nothing to do with that, but it's all next year.
Yeah, everything's coming up next year. So we basically, I mean, we've had a lot of people come, a lot of people go, and I've got no animosity about people, you know, people that have come, people that have gone, because I've learned from them. You know,
well, that's what we're all here for, to learn from each other, isn't it? I mean, I've learned stuff from you. You know, it's just, that's what I'm here for, to learn, you know.
You know, I mean, yes, I've got years and years of experience, but am I a professional now? Hell no, I'm not. I would no more put down professional ghost hunter or professional paranormal investigator on my resume, because there is no such word really. We got experience.
Yeah. I mean, I always say that I don't think there's any experts in any of these fields, is there? I mean, so
no.
we're all sort of just learning into as much as we can as we go along.
That's it. You know, because every investigation or every public event I do is different.
And you don't try and make money out of it, do you? You're not in it for the money as such. And I know that for a fact.
I certainly don't. You know, me and Shane certainly don't. I can honestly say, out of the 10 years, we've only ever once had to cancel one event. And then on cancelling that event, we paid everybody back that paid us money, and that all came out of one insurance pocket at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I know. I mean, as you know, I know how expensive these events, because you know I put on that conference for Colonel Holt, and by the time you've hired the hall, I mean I hired all the electronic equipment, and I just barely got back what was had been laid out for it. So it's by the time I paid his airfare and hotels and travel expenses and everything else, there wasn't much left in the pot afterwards. You know, and it was kind of the thing was, it was even a week or so before I was thinking, I'm not going to make back, I'm going to lose money by this, but it's just one of those things that come with the territory. You set off to do these things, but out of the goodness of your own, you know, because you want to do it, don't you? And it's, you know, it's.
As I said, we started off doing privates because we wanted to help. And as I say, we still do the private work. But if you come on our events, we're more now, yes, we do the public events, but we like to keep our public events small. We like small groups. And we like to teach people as well, if we can, and hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed here, this is what we do. You know.
Yeah, I think sometimes you're forced to have small events anyway, aren't you? Because they don't allow too many people sort of wandering about at night in some of these places, do they?
That is true. It's true. But I mean, you have got the big companies out there that take loads of people. Yeah. But I like to keep it small, intermittent.
But also, it comes into the thing is, it comes into it. I mean, obviously they're going to charge you a fee to go in there for the night, so you've got to actually charge people, you know, to suit that, haven't you? You've got to cover it. You've got to cover it for your own, your own expenses.
Well, I've had this. I walked away from the mic then. Sorry. I had this argument couple of times, and it's not so much an argument. It is where people have messaged me on Facebook, and they've said, why are you charging that much? Because I can go in there for the daytime and pay X amount. Why are you
it's not the same thing, is it?
But the thing is, these people that say that don't realise that a paranormal team that's holding public events have got to hire the complete complex, the complete location. We actually hire that location out. You know, then we've got public liability insurance. Yeah. You know, on top of that as well. So yes, prices are more expensive than going in there during the day, but
you're going to be in a select group, aren't you? Maybe 10 or 15 people that have got to cover the expense of hiring the venue in the first place.
That's it.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
Once I've explained it to people, as I say, I think it's only happened a couple of times, and when I sort of explained it to them, they've suddenly said, "Oh, well, yeah, so we can see where you're coming from." So it wasn't such an argument, but it was. It's sort of like getting our point across to people that think that, well, you're holding an event, why don't you just charge us, for argument's sake, 10 pence, when we can get in for 10 pence during the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, so what's one of your favourite venues, or say locations?
Well, we've got a location that we've stopped doing now, and it's actually out in Mundersley. Yeah, Mundersley. I have to try and say it right. Mundesley.
Yeah.
That's just the other side of Great Yarmouth. Now, all that is just a village hall.
Mm.
It was built, believe it or not, in 1901, I think it was, if memory serves me correct. And we've had so much activity there, it's unbelievable. Yeah, you can go into an older building and look at nothing.
Mm.
So, but as for favourites, I haven't really got a favourite because they're all unique to their own way. If you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah. They've all got their own history, haven't they? So
yeah. Yes. I mean, I know people say, oh, this is my favourite location, but I can actually say that. I haven't really got a favourite.
Mm. Yeah, so when you talk about activity in places, you're talking about I don't know, what do you mean by activity? I mean, I was just trying to put it out there for the people listening, because you're getting lots of readings on meters, and you pick up actual physical activity yourself, don't you?
Yeah, I pick up physical activity, but it's personal experiences, readings of them, of your equipment. We use a lot of CCTV. It's capturing something on CCTV that we possibly could say, yes, it's paranormal. I'm not going down that road.
Hmm.
You know what road I'm talking about, so I'm not.
Yeah. Well, I know I've seen some amazing things when you've done like solo things in certain rooms when there was no orbs flying about, but all of a sudden there's loads of orbs flying about. I've seen some pretty spectacular stuff myself from some of these events.
Yeah, it is basically, we do scrying, which is looking into a mirror. I've had some great experiences with that, but a lot of it is personal experiences. So yes, we've had things happen. I can't deny that we haven't had things happen in 10 years. Yeah.
Scrying, that's actually when you're looking into a mirror and basically your face is beginning to change, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if something is actually taking over, it's kind of like what do you call it? Like a physical mediumship, isn't it? It's like when someone transfiguration mediumship.
Yeah, but you're looking into a mirror. There's loads of ways you can do it. I mean, you can do water scrying, which is exactly the same. You can do fire scrying. Not that I would set a fire in an 1811 building. I wouldn't put a fire on and start.
Yeah. I've actually seen, but I think I might have told you when our friend Frank Willis was here, just after the conference. He did a transfiguration. He's actually a transfiguration medium, and actually I didn't think I'd see anything, but he gave us a demonstration, and I was actually amazed by it. Mm-hmm. We also, there was three of us see it, and Jill saw it, and Jill's my wife. Jill and Sasha Christie, we all saw the same thing. His face changing. It just blew me away. I've got to get Frank back on the show actually.
Yeah, I do it, but I don't always do it because it can take a lot out of you. So.
Oh, you can do it as well. What?
Yeah. It's just there's a lot of things you can do that you pick up along the way.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff I do has been self-taught. Obviously, I've got a very good friend, as you know, that I call my mentor, even though she's younger than me. I call her my mentor, which is Vivian PAUK.
Yeah.
And
we're going to talk a bit about Viv in a minute, actually.
If I do transfiguration, I've always got someone there with me just in case, because I'm not 150% sure on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You've been attacked a couple of times as well, haven't you, spiritually?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I've been attacked, but Nothing phases me, David, I'm afraid.
No, but it must be scary when it happens the first time to you. I mean, obviously, it's happened a few times, but I suppose you have to kind of accept that can they really harm you from the other side that much? I suppose mentally they might be able to.
Yes, they can. Is the answer to that. The one at Coronation Hall, I wasn't hurt. It was basically I was just taken over by a pilot, but I wasn't actually physically hurt. But you do get attacked, and I did have a lady on board who was, the easiest way to describe it is we was on location. It was a private location. We'd been doing it quite a while.
Yeah.
And this person took a dislike to Sharon.
Oh, right, yeah. And Sharon's your wife. For people
Sharon's my wife, yeah. And I said, well, if you're going in, you're going in there completely protected, and I'm going to protect you as well, which I did. So she was so protected, you know, it was a bit like, for your American friends, it was a bit protected like Fort Knox, you know what I mean? She was at, if I've said Fort Knox right. Anyway, we went to this location, as I say, it was a private residence, and the spirit, it wasn't very nice. He couldn't get at Sharon. So he went for the next best thing, which was the lady that was next to her, and he actually physically burnt her back.
Oh.
And she had a burn mark on her back, and that was 2 to 3 inches long. She never had a burn mark there at the beginning.
What was it? Like a fresh burn type of thing, was it?
Yeah, it was like a fresh burn, basically like a radiator burn.
Yeah.
And there was no radiator, you know, like that type of burn.
Yeah.
You could actually see it physically come up.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen things where people get scratched and things like that. Have you had that sort of thing happen? You know, like physical scratches or cuts or whatever?
I've had scratches, but the trouble is, see, when you do it, and these come up, I then start second guessing myself. Because I've done it for so long, I start second guessing myself. Now, did I actually catch myself on something sharp?
Yeah.
You know what you said, okay, Rob? So with scratches and things like that, I tend to, especially if it's only a single scratch, I tend to forget. I tend to say, I caught myself.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Gary, that's the way you should be looking at it. I mean, that's kind of the skeptic's view, and you've got to look at the normal things that it could be before you start jumping to anything, you know, extraordinary, don't you, really?
Yeah. But with the worst attack that I had, which you was actually present, if memory serves me right, which was at the watermill.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Where I was right up the top, and that big lump of oak came down and hit me across the top of the head.
Yeah.
That actually made my head bleed. I knew where that beam was, and I actually watched a person walk straight. They didn't even duck, and I carried on walking, and that beam hit me on the top of the head. Now, if I'd have walked into it, as people said, oh, you didn't duck, so you, I said, I didn't have to duck because it wasn't there. But if I'd have walked into it, it would have cut my nose, because we actually measured it out, and it's nose height.
Yeah. So
it would have cut my nose, not the top of my head. So yeah, I had been part and parcel, isn't it?
Yeah, that was pretty weird. I know, I do remember it. And also, if you remember, on that same night, there was the young fella there. I can't remember his name now, but he had a scratch on his back, didn't he?
Yeah.
And it was actually bleeding. And we thought, well, how the hell's he done that? And he didn't know, did he? He didn't feel it. All of a sudden, he just felt that he lifted his shirt and he had this blood on the back.
And then when you wiped it, there was no marks there at all.
It was weird. Yeah, that was the same. That was the same night, I believe, Gary.
Mm.
Yeah, because actually we were going to go back there, but the weather was bad, wasn't it? A bad snowfall. We couldn't get to it, or you couldn't get out, and I couldn't get out.
No. Unfortunately, yeah, she's turned them all into very, very posh holiday homes, or holiday rooms. So I wouldn't. You can't get. Well, you could go back, but I don't think I could go back.
Yeah. Anyway, look, I think we ought to talk about you've arranged for what were you going to call it? A conference or a paranormal weekend?
It's over one day. It's actually called Parafest 2020, which is at Skegness Farm. So hang on, I'm going to bring up the literature now.
Yeah, because it's not nice we've got the address and all that. Have all the VIP tickets gone now?
No, we've got, I think, memory serves me right, there's 6 VIP tickets left for that event, which are, and my computer's now deciding that it wants to play up. I had it all sorted already, and now it's whirring. What are the VIPs? £40.
Yeah, which isn't bad actually for a whole for that evening's investigation with all day as well.
Yep. Hang on, here it comes. He says as he just scrolling now on the web page. I thought I'd just get that.
I'll cut all this out later. Don't worry.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you're cutting it out.
No, I don't think I'll be able to do that, Gary. I'll just have to leave this running. be a bit of entertainment.
Yeah, a bit of entertainment. But yeah, it's on the 18th of June, July. Yeah. My computer is really playing up today. It's at Skegness Village Church Farm.
And it is quite a lively, we'll say lively. That's the wrong word, isn't it? It's quite
very active. Very active.
An active
active
area.
location we're looking for. Yeah. I don't know why the big pictures aren't coming up. There we go. Yeah, so it's 40 6 VIP tickets left. There's actually 10 on the website, so there might be 10 left. So, the actual start time, I think we've got down there, 9:30 till 6 p.m. Now, the VIP tickets cover you from 9:30 till 6 p.m, but it also covers you for the investigation of the evening, which starts at 8:30 till late, which is normally around about 1:30.
Yeah.
So,
probably till about 2, wouldn't it, or something like that?
Yeah. So basically what you're going to get for your VIP ticket is you're going to get, you're going to be able to listen to 6 great speakers, one which includes me.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to get out of it, David.
Oh yeah, well, why are you trying to get out of it? I thought you were doing 2 sessions, weren't you?
Yeah. I'm trying to break it up so it's going to be a little bit easier. But we're going to have Tom Warrington.
Yeah, he's been on the show. I'm going to try and get him back on again as well before then. Tell us a bit about what he's going to be talking about, if he'll tell us.
Yeah. Vivian Powell.
I'm definitely going to get Viv on. I've already booked Gert Brewer.
Barry Frankish.
Yeah.
And yourself.
And myself, yeah.
And yourself. So you're going to have to get yourself on the radio show and interview yourself.
That's the problem, you see. I'm on it all the time, aren't I? So, but that's the good thing, because I can keep on mentioning it when I get these other people on as well. So, you know, it's, but I think the tickets have been going well, haven't they, from what I gather?
Yes, they're going well. As I say, there's, on the web, if you go on the website, on the web page, there's 10 tickets. I'm not sure if that's actually 110% correct.
There's at least 6 left.
There's at least 6 left, VIP. And as I say, the VIP covers you for going upstairs, listening to the speakers, walking around the village, obviously throughout the day, up until 6 p.m. and then coming back around about 8 p.m. of the evening.
And obviously during the day, you got your chance to speak to the speakers as well. At certain times, if you've got certain questions and things you'd like to, or things to talk to them about, you know, you've got access to them all day, haven't you? Basically.
Access to speakers all day, you know, so, you know, they'll be walking around, you can talk to them. We're going to have stalls there as well. I think we've got 3 booked already, which is good. So we've only got 7 stalls left, so anybody out there wants a stall, get hold of my wife Sharon.
Yeah.
Day passes, which are £20, which is again good value because you get to see the speakers, which again, as I say, there's 6 speakers, so you get to see 6 speakers talking about various subjects across the paranormal field. You get to wander around the museum, and you get to look at the stalls. Stall holders is £15. We've got 7 pitches left. They open from 10 a.m. till I think the wife said 5:30. It might go on a little bit late. It might go on till 6, but I think she said 5:30. That gives them chance
all day anyway. So yeah,
basically all day again. But with the stall holders, £5 of that is going towards the museum. Obviously, we've hired the museum, and we're giving them a very good substantial donation. So, you know, there's going to be raffles. There'll be a raffle on the day as well. There's going to be a big raffle prize. Hopefully, I'm trying to get that sorted out. I'm going to hopefully get hold of a K2 meter, get all the speakers to sign it. So you'll have a memento for the day if you win that.
Oh, a bit like that one that I won.
Yeah, the one that I won that you won, yeah. Yeah. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it should be a good day.
Anyway, so at that venue, is there any well-known spirits that are there? You know, like a dark lady or something, or?
Well, it's always a dark lady.
Well, I'll make that up out of me, you know what I mean. It's just, is there anything well-known that sort of haunts that area?
Well, you've got the normal. It is basically a old church, old farm. But there's other spirits there. So you know, there's what we call the white. Well, it is a white cottage, white thatched cottage. No, there's nothing. It's quite active in there. Now, there's all this argument about equipment, and you know, the electrics and water can set all the equipment off and things like that. So yeah, I'll go along with that. But this white cottage has got nothing in. It's got no gas. It's got no electric because it was burned down. So all the electrics and everything is gone. There's no, you know. Yeah. So it is, and it's quite active in there. The complete location is very active. There isn't, it's not one of those places like the Monk Pontefract and things like that. There's nothing like that. You know, it's not advertised like, you know, East Drive and, you know, so.
Yeah, I know it's a very attractive looking venue as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Outside.
It's quite big. So, you know, you should, as I say, there's a cafe on site as well. So, you know, you can get your teas, your coffees, your hot chocolates and food all day. There's going to be tarot card readings. I've just noticed that on there.
Okay, all right. Who's going to be doing that? Is that
Vivian's going to be doing tarot card readings, and obviously, not only do you get to listen to the guest speakers during the day, you get to actually investigate with the guest speakers.
Yeah. So I mean, especially we've got a couple of very psychic people, Gert and Viv and yourself.
So, you know, you got So it should be a good day. You know, we got, as you say, we got Gert coming all the way from Holland. So
yeah, Gert's coming on the show early in the new year. So you have to keep a listen out for that, everyone.
yeah.
He's actually a demonologist, and I think he does all sorts of things, doesn't he, Gert? He's quite experienced.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience behind him. I've tried to, well, actually it was quite weird because I was going to keep it all to, because obviously we're based in the UK, I was going to keep it all UK based people. And I didn't want big names. You know, I didn't want...
Oh, thanks a lot. No, sorry. No, very joking.
Yeah, I didn't want...
no, I know what you mean.
Like the Richard Felix. Yeah, Richard Felix is a good friend of mine. Yeah, I'll speak to Richard Felix. But I didn't want the big names. I didn't want Yvette Fielding. I didn't want, I didn't want the big names. I wanted it that people know the big names and the big stars is the easiest way to put it because they're on telly. But I wanted it to be a conference of Joe Public. You know what? I suppose that's the way how I wanted it, and it's actually worked out fine. Yeah. I mean, I had no intentions of bringing anybody across from the continent.
No. But I mean, God, he's actually an award winner, isn't he? He's won several awards for, for being the best here, the best of this and the best of that.
Yeah. I mean, actually, this is really, gonna be sound as if I'm blowing my trumpet, and people's trumpets I'm not. But that lineup there, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 award-winning investigators.
Yeah, I know they've all been awarded at some point. Yeah.
You know.
Well, including yourself, Gary. You won the best. The East Anglia won the best group, didn't it? A couple of years ago in Nottingham. Was it Nottingham?
Nottingham, yeah. We won the best paranormal.
Paraforce thing.
Paraforce best, yeah. Public events group we won. So, and then
well deserved it was, yeah.
Thank you. Year after we won the award for most nominated paranormal team at Paraforce. So, I think we was nominated in every single category at the last Paraforce apart from radio show.
Yeah.
That was because we didn't have a radio show at the time.
Yeah.
We still haven't. I'm not going down that road. I'm too stretched as it is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, you can always come on here, can't you?
Yeah. I'll come and talk to you, David.
But you never know who else might turn up at this event either. I mean, there are people that could just turn up anyway, because as people do, don't they?
Yeah, that's it. I'm keeping fingers crossed. I'm not gonna say nothing, but I am keeping fingers crossed. It would be a big surprise, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if people do turn up, that are really reasonably well known, at least anyway. But I'm looking forward to it. It's a nice venue, a nice, some nice people. They're all nice people to speak to. They're all very approachable, like yourself, myself, and Vivian, Gert, Barry, and Tom. They're all very approachable. You can just talk to them, and they're all very friendly and everything.
Well, this is it. This is what I wanted, David. You get this when you see like a bigger star, for argument's sake, that's been on telly. You might feel as if you can't approach them. Whereas this way, yes, we've got the experience. Yes, we're all up there in the paranormal world.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Warrington and Barry Frankish, they've got their own radio show as well. So they're quite well known. Vivian does a lot of shows herself, doesn't she? She appears on quite a few.
Yeah, it does.
And Gert's got his own one as well.
It does umpteen conferences all over the world.
Yeah.
But we're all approachable, and people, I think, won't feel as if we're not approachable. If you see where I'm coming from, I'm not trying to put anybody down. It's just that I wanted wanted people that are approachable. I think that's a better way of putting it.
Yeah. No, it should be an interesting day. I know that. So I know each of these people have got a lot to say in the subject, and different subjects as well. They're not all going to be quite the same. So anyway,
Yeah.
so you got anything else? You got some other venues planned, haven't you, for other events for your East Anglia group?
Oh, blimey, yeah. Well, we're basically, David, and I'm not being funny, we're basically booked right out.
I mean, I think I'm going to another 3 of them, and I think I've booked 3 of them to go with for you.
I mean, I think, apart from the Paracourse one, which we've got, as I say, only got 6 tickets. I'm trying to think which ones we have.
I think all the others are sold out, haven't they? Most of them. I think. Have you got any that haven't sold out yet? Might as well give them a plug now if you can.
Rotham Control Tower. We haven't sold that one out. There's still tickets available for that. That's in August, the 8th of August, 2020. And we've actually got,
and that's a very lively event. We'll say lively. I keep saying lively, but that's a very, there's a lot goes on there as well, isn't there, Ruffin?
Yeah. We've actually got Paul Rook's coming to that. He's our guest.
Paul Rook, yeah, I know the name.
He's our guest, paranormal investigator for the night. He's investigator, and he also, another one that also runs his own radio show. So he'll be there at Rotham Control Tower. That's reasonably priced at £20.
Yeah. Actually, that's another name I've just had to write on my list. There's somebody else I've got to get back on this show. Paul Rook. my list is getting longer and longer and longer.
And the only other one that we've got tickets available for will be on the 27th of June. And that's the Village Mansfield, and that is, looking at the price on that, that's £25 a person. And we've actually got Vivian Powers, our guest.
Yeah. And I will emphasise, anyone listening out there who's interested in those prices are about as cheap as you can get them, aren't they? Because you actually have to just cover to pay for the event. You don't make anything out of it, and I can guarantee that myself.
We basically try to cover the cost of the event. Unfortunately, locations are going up, so our ticket prices will go up, but we've kept them to the bare minimum of going up next year.
I think that's the unfortunate thing about some of these locations. They get wise to the fact that people want to do investigations there, and they basically can sort of put whatever price they like on it, can't they? Because they know that if you don't want it, somebody else will probably pay that price.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they'll put whatever price on, and if I turn around to them and said, "No, I'm not coming in," there's always a queue of teams out there that will go in.
Group will do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it'd be a shame to miss out on that.
I think that is to say, yeah, that's the only 3 we've got tickets available.
But anyway, I mean, if people are interested in going on that, I mean, if you go on the Facebook page, you've got your paranormal investigations. Sorry, it's the East Anglia Paranormal Investigations page, or EAPI. You can always find Gary.
We've got, so I'm going to butt in, David. We've got the East Anglia Paranormal events only group on Facebook. We've also got the East Anglia Paranormal like page. Now that's actually, somebody else is running that for us, because basically you go on there, you can do, if you want, you can go call them up and they'll go, you can buy your tickets via PayPal.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on the group page, it's bank transfer, or Sharon will give you the choice of PayPal, or you can go to www.eapi.co.uk.
Right. And that's where anyone can find you any time, don't you? It's not only just about these events, it's for any time, any events that are coming up in the future as well.
Yeah, anytime. You can actually, on the web page, you can send us a message. As I say, you yes, we run public events, but we still do privates. So if you feel as if you need to call somebody out, you're around this area, give us a call.
Yeah. And not only that, you have some interesting articles on the pages as well anyway on Facebook, don't you? Which people might like to have a look at.
Yeah, we definitely on the web page we do, yeah. And on the like page we do. Our actual group, I know we've got free up and running, but our group page is mainly for our events.
Yeah. I mean, people listening to us around the world, but obviously not going to get plane tickets and start flying over. But you never know, one or two might.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, it's still an interesting page to visit anyway. If you're interested, because East Anglia obviously is a very active place in the UK anyway, because it was the birth of witchcraft and the Witch Finder General and all that sort of stuff. There's an awful lot of history here, paranormal history, that you can cover on your page.
Oh yeah, there's so much. I mean,
what with castles and churches and everything else, and
there are loads of things. I mean, as you just mentioned, the witches. I mean, you got the Lowestoft witches. Now, not a lot of people even know about the Lowestoft witches.
I didn't. I didn't until you mentioned them.
But their actual trial, you read up on the Lowestoft witches, their trial was, they actually took some of their trial out, and that's how the Salem witches in America were tried. So, there's a lot of connections.
Yeah. Oh, it's all very fascinating stuff, Gary. Anyway, I guess we'll end it there then, and thank you very much for coming on. It's been very interesting, mate, and looking forward to seeing you again. Hopefully, we've got Christmas coming up, so I know you got your first event. I'll probably on your first event. I think it's about April time.
I think so. I think ours is January. I think ours is March.
Yeah, because we have to wait till it don't get so cold.
Yeah. You got the dogs, haven't you? So, yeah. I think our first one's in March. Readout Fault in March.
Actually, I think I'm going on that one, aren't I? I think I'm on that one.
Yeah, I think Jill snuck it in.
She did, yeah. She said, we've got to go there. So I think we said, okay, it should be getting a bit warmer, hopefully, by then. So I think we did do that one. Yeah. Yeah,
I think Readout Fault's on Jill's bucket list, and I think we're only going there once this year, so.
Right, yeah. Jill, by the way, is my wife, so she's, I get bullied into doing some things sometimes. No, not really. It's an interesting place anyway. We did do it once. Readout Fault was on the coast, isn't it? Just off, it's quite an amazing place. But, no doubt there'll be some photos and that from that. Anyway, Gary, I'll, say thank you very much for coming on. It's been very interesting, and, hope out there you found some interest that, and maybe you'd like to come on some of these events, and say, just get in touch with Gary, or myself even, if you can't find Gary, you can always contact me, and, anyway, Gary, I suppose we'll say goodbye, and if you'd like to say goodbye to everybody, and thanks for coming on.
First of all, obviously, thank you very much. Much appreciated, getting me on. He's been a little while.
No, I've been trying to get you on for a few months now. I've been so sort of snowed under with guests, basically. It's been a struggle.
And I'm very elusive.
Yeah, you are elusive, I know.
I don't do radio shows that often, I must admit. So, once again, thank you very much for having me on, David. Thank you very much to your listeners all over the world. I hope I haven't bored you too much.
No, you haven't, mate. It's
and I hope I've given you a little insight of myself, and more as a fact of EAPI.
Yeah, and your brilliant group. Yeah, it's been great.
I was just about to say, before I go, EAPI wouldn't be EAPI without the people behind me. Yes, I always say yes, I'm the front man, but without the people I've got backing me up, week in, week out, day in, day out, there would be no East Anglia Paranormal Investigations. So it's a big respect to them.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that's right. Okay,
So
Gary. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, right, yeah, thanks, Gary. I suppose that's it. Thank you very much, and see you again soon.
Yeah,
right,
goodbye.
Yeah, bye, Gary. Right, you've been listening to the Paranormal UK Radio Network. This is Paranormal Dimensions. I'm David Young. Thanks for listening, and speak to you next time. Bye. Paranormal Dimensions is a regular feature on Mondays on the Paranormal UK Radio Network.